I recall summer's day when I had strolled away, and suddenly a storm blew by. Seeking shelter from the rain, we strolled along a little lane, and saw the lovely sight nearby. Was just a garden in the lane, close to the little leafy lane, a rush of colony skies of grey. The raindrops kiss the flower beds, the blossoms raise the dusty heads, a perfume takes they seem to say. Surely there was charm beyond comparison. Maybe it was just that I was there with you. Was just a garden in the lane, but then the sun came out again, and sent us happy all our way. Surely there was charm beyond comparison. Maybe it was just that I was there with you. Was just a garden in the lane, but then the sun came out again, and sent us happily all our
but effort would be appreciated. So I'm going to call, excuse me, call this meeting to order, and I'd like to welcome any guests. Do we have any guests? All right. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're here. Also want to welcome interns and members. It's great of you to show up because I know the weather has turned really nice in the evenings and stuff, and the temptation would be to sit out on your back porch with a glass of wine or a glass of iced tea, whichever you prefer. I know where I go, but and we really appreciate your being here. We do have some important business to take care of, as well as a wonderful speaker coming up. So. The first thing I'd like to do is to, now I know all of you spent at least an hour reviewing the minutes.
Oh, at least an hour.
At least, Mac, at least. Reviewing the minutes from the last membership meeting, so I would like to hear a motion to approve the minutes. I hear Kathy? Kathy Adams? Second?
Second.
Ernie? Or? What's his face back there?
I didn't see that.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nope.
Okay, before we get into the rest of the, yes, ma'am. All in favor? No, there's anybody opposed? Was somebody opposed? Okay. You gotta excuse my hearing. Before we get into the rest of the agenda that's up there, I have a couple things I want to talk about. October, and the end of September for that matter, was an extremely, extremely busy month. And I want to thank all of you who volunteered at the Big Red Barn with school tours. We had 2,076 kids go through.
Good grief.
Yeah, that makes me tired thinking about it. Those little rugrats, I mean, those angelic children are a lot of fun, but they take a lot of work. So thank you.
How old were they?
I also, this last weekend was our fall major event, the county fair. So I would like the following people to stand up. Kathleen, April, wherever you are, get in here.
You're being recognized.
All right, now, Kathleen and April stepped in at the last minute to take over running the county fair. And I'd like you to give them a huge round of applause. We also had several other people who were very, very key. Pam Younger. Now, Pam, how many entries did you have in the pumpkin contest this time?
We had 95 this year. We gave away 33 prizes. We had a lot of really happy contestants, and we had one little girl that cried really hard because she didn't win.
Now, I'm telling you that if you ever want to sell ice to Eskimos, this is your person. She does prize raising like you would not believe.
Well, and the chicken tonight was donated by the Rusty Rooster, one of my sponsors. So they just said, "What else can we do for you, ma'am?"
That's right.
Thank you, Pam.
I know Paul is here. Paul, stand up.
Where is he?
Stand here. I know Pam Malone's out of town. Paul and Tim did the plant sale. Pam Malone not only had the grow team, but also was instrumental in the children's activities, which was hugely popular. Yeah. So let's give them a big hand. I know that a lot of you worked a lot of hours, and I can't stand here and name every single one. These people were key to making this work, and it was a huge success. Okay? Did I miss anybody I should be recognizing?
Lots of people.
Okay. All right. Then up next is, if you didn't notice, it's membership dues time. This is a big if you have completed your volunteer hours and your continuing ed hours, then dues can be accepted at the table back there, or Frank's right here. He's our money man. Oh, Frank was the other person I had on my list to recognize. Frank, stand up. Oh, yeah. He's going to give you dollars for the county fair in terms of every category that we made, and we made a nice bundle of money, as well as getting a lot of community recognition. And I'm not going to steal his thunder with that, but Frank sat there at that cash register pretty much every single minute of every single day. So.
Yeah, but bringing money in makes them happy.
Okay, so anyway, membership dues. If you can't pay them this month, we'll be taking money next month too. Can they go online, Frank, and pay? All right. So you can go online and pay, however, whatever's convenient, just give us your money. Okay. All righty. Pam,
Yeah,
would you like to do a
Yeah,
special
I do.
thing for us?
I really do want to do this. You know, every year I play mentor to somebody.
Tormentor.
And I say tormentor, don't I? I have said that, haven't I? Well, last year it was Karen Carell who saved somebody at the county fair. Y'all may not have known that, but she's a retired nurse, and she saved the life of a little child at the county fair who was dying, who was choking. And she also became the refreshment coordinator. And so that was my mentee before Mac. This year I have Mac. Mac, he's kind of hard to
I
corral.
don't know who I feel sorry for.
Mac Mullins is kind of hard to corral. You can't find him most of the time. He's out and about and having fun. He's a man who has more fun as a master gardener than anybody I know. So, with great pleasure,
Brown noser.
Thank you.
I want to award this Master Gardener of the Season to Mac. Come on up, Mac. Come on up, Mac. Look how beautiful this is. You can put it on the wall. You can give it to his wife to explain
Not very
what he's been
stiff
doing all
enough
this time.
for the occasion.
Wait, class 40.
Yeah, good. Start that. Good. What, dude?
Okay, so here you are, Master Gardener of the Season, but I was just one vote. It was for the whole,
Mac, turn
look
around.
in this.
Spelled it right.
I
Spelled it
spelled
right.
it right.
Spelled it right.
And we gave him a gift.
Say cheese. Look, say cheese.
I have had more fun being Matt's mentor, I'm telling you. And I want y'all to see what the Master Gardeners purchased for him as a reminder of
Besides the
tonight.
tote and the color print.
It-
That's you,
It has
bro.
our,
That's
it
like.
has our logo on it, and it's a little coffee mug, and it says, Master Gardener of the Season 2025, Mac Mullins.
Oh, you
I'm in trouble, he's killing me in my ear, I'm in trouble.
I was kissing her neck. I was kissing her neck. Okay, so just a little while ago,
Okay.
we have
Survive,
trouble.
Pam.
We have trouble
You can
with
survive
paper,
anything.
so Frank got me these to hold my papers down when the wind's blowing. And I told him, look, don't be doing this, okay? Because I'm at the age now, like, you know, when you're in your 30s, 40s, men are like testosterone starts dropping and your estrogen is going up. I said, man, I'm getting like man boobs are crying at game shows. And you go learn something like this, and now this, oh my God.
Thank you, man.
This is the best outfit. I've been associated over the last 50 years with different types, sizes, organizations, but I've never loved as many. I can't think of anyone here except
Uh-oh, me?
maybe one.
Don't look at me.
But no, everybody here. And it's like God is in the house. Everybody is nothing but love. And on top, you know, and that's how it is. And then we get the plants. God. You know? This is great.
Y'all will notice,
Congratulations, Mac.
Right? Thanks. I mean, my God, thank you. Thank you.
y'all will notice Karen Durkin's name is up there as well. Karen is in Boston, doing traveling gardener, one-ring gardener, whatever we call it. And so we will do hers next month when she's here.
Oh my God.
Okay, is Juan Moncada here? Juan?
Haven't seen one,
I
but
don't remember seeing him, but maybe here. No, well, we will do this next month then too as well. Juan has finished his hours, is certifying, and so we will make the presentation next month. What did I do, Craig? It's not moving. Did I do a surprise?
I just take the mouse and click on that one.
Okay, thank you. All right. Kathleen is going to present the slate of proposed officers for next year. The floor will then be open for floor nominations. If anybody has any, just make sure you ask permission of the person you're nominating before you present their name.
All right, nominations for the 2026 Guadalupe County Master Gardeners Board of Directors. President, April Ripple, an automatic transfer from President-elect. Past President, Kay McKelvin, also an automatic transfer from
Do I
current.
have a choice?
No. Mayor-elect will be Pam Malone, but the floor is open for additional nominations. So let one of us know if you'd like to be nominate or nominate yourself for that. Treasurer is also open, Frank Ripple, current. Floor is open for additional nominations.
You missed me?
Vice President?
Oh, I thought I said you, I'm sorry. Vice President Pam Younger, floor is open
Pam's so
for
quiet.
additional nominations. Frank Ripple. And Secretary, my position, the floor is open for additional nominations. I need nominations from the floor. All right, nominations are officially closed. We will have an election, which really won't be an election next month because we have
No competition.
no competition. So unless you,
Can I hear a motion
I'll give
to
you
accept these nominations?
30 more seconds. Nope.
All right, all in favor? Aye? All
So
right.
I've got Rodney and
If it ain't broke, don't
Kathy,
fix it.
Rodney and Paul. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Now, I will say, let me just get, since I'm going out of office and I'm just basically going to sit there next year and sit on the side and go, you don't think so? No. I can sit on the sidelines and go, the people who are currently in office, myself accepted, have done a phenomenal job.
Amen.
And so I think keeping them for another, all of us are term limited because of our bylaws, but keeping them for another year is a smart decision.
Yes, it is.
After somebody comes in, are we allowed to have you be president in a few more years? Or is that done forever?
Oh, it's not done forever.
Oh, good.
Because I was president back in 2018, and guess where I'm standing right now?
No, I was vice
You have
president.
at least a year in between.
Yep.
Okay.
Just can't be
Yeah, April was president before.
April's been is a past president as well.
Yeah, I was
So,
vice president.
but what, the goal of a rule like that in an organization is that you don't get a little clique in who sits there forever and other people, you don't get fresh ideas and new blood and all that. You have to have other people come in.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that the oldies can't recycle themselves. But you really, and I think it's a very smart thing to do. Okay, up next is Frank. He's going to give you numbers. They are really exciting.
So the 2026 budget requests are finished, done, and approved, and I sent out emails. But if you have any questions or concerns or whatever, see me. The September bank account checked out really good, everything reconciled, no problems there.
Where's the little chart with all the little numbers we can't read?
I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just saying, it's in the minutes, it's all over the place, or you can ask me what number did. In fact, let's talk about some numbers. 2025, the fair numbers. Oh my gosh. It was, and part of the results of all of this was one person and
Did
what,
you take a test?
all right,
Did
we're,
you take a test?
all right. Oh, weak line. There we go. So the PayPal worked out good again. If I hadn't been there, we wouldn't have got the $925 credit, going through PayPal. People like to use those machines and cards and stuff like that. Took in $2,469 in cash. The total fare for that is $3,394. I kind of looked at some numbers last year, is around the $2,583 mark. So you can see we did some good on the calendars. We did $1,213 on the plants, and Somebody out there yelling, buy these tickets. Woo!
I tell you, I scared the heck out of that lady in the first booth when I came around the corner. She grabbed her own and she was going down.
So anyways, real good on that. Some crafts and then some donations. They just walked up and handed money. And say, we appreciate the the master gardeners in the county, and there it is. So that's just some
That's good.
excellent fare. We've already started recruiting for next year. And we do. We have some positions already filled, and they did it this year, and they want to come back and do it again. So that's where we're moving to. On the scholarships, we have these two particular people, and we invited them to come. We'll invite them again. We're hoping that sometime. But they got their scholarship, and they seem to be very, very happy with what we're doing for them. And then right now, Paul Carter, we got you down for a little bit about this recruiting, getting it going.
Rigor mortis was setting in. Congratulations, sir.
You know my little chicken grease?
Yeah, oh man.
Yeah, it's slick. I told you, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, Paul.
Right now, thank you for you people that have helped do some recruiting. We've only got about 10 students now, somewhere around there. We've got about we only got about 10 students right now. My goal is to have 40 students. So we got about 3 months to go before the class. So we got to get about 10 students per month to get that filled up. Okay? So please get out there and help in the recruiting, because we can sure use it. Those of you that have been in my last classes, being members of the Master Gardeners, get out there and get some people. Get them in there. That's our job, is to get people trained. So let's get out there and get some people in to learn some stuff about gardening. And we have a thorough class, you know it as well as I do. So let's really do a good job. Again, let's get about 10 students per month.
Early bird ends the end of this month.
And the early bird, our tuition right now is at $250. It ends at the end of this month. It goes up to $275. Now keep in mind, there's military discount. Okay, so keep that in mind too. And if you get an individual and say, well, I just can't afford it, you get them to get a hold of me or get a hold of April, and we'll get them taken care of.
Or David Fisher.
Huh?
Or David Fisher.
Or David Fisher. And we'll get them taken care of, okay? Just don't turn them down. Say, hey, we have some opportunities. Maybe you can get in. Okay, so let's utilize that too. Okay? Any questions on anything? No? All right.
We still have a bunch of recruiting packets.
Yes, I got recruiting packets. If anybody needs a recruiting packet, it's got applications and some flyers and some cards and different things in there, so that if you need that, let me know and we'll get it for you. No? Oh, by the way, I think Frank just about burned up his cash register during the county fair. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was smoking. I saw it smoking, especially with him. They did a good job.
Thank you, Paul.
And I know we have one Class 41 student here. Would you like to stand over here? Sure. Is there any other Class 41 students here tonight? Oh, there's one. Stand up. Welcome, welcome. Good job.
We're in the fall gardening class.
Oh, wonderful. Great. We already know each other. That's great. All right. Thank you, Paul. I think, yeah, I'll do PM. If I can figure out how to do this. Oh, that was yours, Paul. All right. next up is Pamela. She had to go to Houston. So I'm just going to tell you about a few of the volunteer opportunities we have coming up. First up will be our plant sale in 2 weeks, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. If you'd like to sign up to help at Pecan Fest, there's a sign-up sheet in the back. It's a fun one. It's downtown Seguin, and we sell lots of plants. So sign up for that one if you can. After that, we have Kingsbury Fest, and it's November 8th. Another super fun one. It's in downtown Little Bitty Kingsbury, but they put on this fantastic festival with hay rides for the kids, and I think there's an airplane show and all kinds of stuff going on there. Lots of stuff for the kids. So bring the kids if you have any kids or grandkids. Bring them.
Kingsbury Area Dome's also the same day as the Kingsbury Downtown Fall
Yes.
Festival.
Yeah.
So the Area Dome is on 1104 as you're heading south from 90. And it's all reenactment, antique planes, and it's owned by my neighbors Charlotte and Roger.
Yes.
I'm from
She's from Kingsbury, so she knows probably more than I do, so fantastic. Yeah.
There's also a car show, classic cars.
There's lots of stuff. It's for a little town. They put on a big, really fun event. So I highly recommend going, even if you can't work. Yeah, David?
Anybody that has a truck with a closed-in truck, come to April so we can haul all the stuff to
Plants.
Kingsbury. So we don't have to make dual trips back and forth.
We don't want to make 2 trips for that one, yeah.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Karen Carell. Karen
April,
Carell.
the date of Kingsbury.
Here it is, November 8th. Yeah, it's not that far. It's not that far. November 8th, it's noon, 12 noon to 6 p.m. So you can even sleep in. You don't even have to get up early for this one. And hopefully it'll cool off by then. As you can see, I think there's some pictures. Yeah, there's Rodney and I, and you can see how we're dressed, so it can get cool. Remember that, Rodney? It was freezing that day. But hopefully it'll cool off at least a little bit. Pony rides for the kids. There's all kinds of stuff going on there, so. Everybody get a picture of the one? Yeah.
Well, it's just something I'd like to talk about, just for ask about. I talked to, no, it's about something else.
Oh, it's about something. Okay, let me finish with Pam. All right, listen up, y'all. We also have, okay, here's about Pecan Fest. And again, there's sign-up sheets in the back for all of these things, but here's all your information on Pecan Fest. We have the seed library going on Wednesday afternoons. There's lots of things to get your volunteer hours. All right. Christmas tree decorating contest. Ernestine, you want to say something? You got it well in hand?
Doing good.
Do you need any volunteers? Okay, so you're good on that. Okay, excellent. Winter Social is coming up. Pam, you want to say something about Winter Social?
Me?
Sure.
Okay,
Thursday, December 11th.
yeah. Well, you know, there's 2 Pams. There's Pam Malone, she's not here. And then there's me. I'm the bad Pam. Okay.
I wasn't going to say that.
I have got some flyers for the Winter Social. They're on the back table back there. Pick one up on your way home so you have all the info. But basically, April and Kay and I got together and we made a party. We're going to have a party for
Entertainment.
We've got a DJ.
My
We
brother.
have a photo booth where, you know, you're going to dress up for Christmas and come, and we'll have a photo booth. We're going to have a contest for who is best dressed and with prize. And Mary and Daryl Stiblow won last year.
No.
No?
You didn't? You should
Boy,
have.
y'all were dressed to the nines.
Should have.
Was it
Melinda?
Melinda Lucas? Okay.
Was it Melinda?
It was the other guy with the tux.
Okay.
Oh.
But y'all were dressed great.
Y'all were pretty dapper.
I thought y'all would. We're gonna have a bingo game, because last year we had bingo at the Christmas party, and everybody wanted to play, and we just had such a good time. So we're gonna play bingo again and have some prizes for bingo. What else we doing?
Tell 'em about the
Bill
dinner.
Miller. Huh?
Hey, this is going to be a catered dinner this year. We have done so well. Thank you, Paul, for the fundraising.
Yeah.
That we will have our dinner catered. So it's Bill Miller. We're going to have brisket. I'm not a meat eater.
Brisket and chicken.
Barbecue chicken.
And vegetarian.
We will have
meals.
a few vegetarian plates if you want to get a vegetarian plate.
They're bringing in the tea, they're bringing in everything except they're not bringing the dessert. So that's what I want y'all to sign up for. I have a sign-up sheet back there, and I think I'm gonna pass it around. Because I want, you know, a little bit of cake and some cookies and, you know, a little variety. I figure.
Beach cobbler.
Yeah,
oh, that was
Janet! Oh, my God.
Looks like it's gone.
good. Yeah.
They're gonna be, what, minors at this?
No.
Okay.
And there's no alcohol.
There's no alcohol.
The Red Barn doesn't allow alcohol.
Sneak
How
out.
about if it's in the cake?
You
How
sneak-
about
you
if it's
sneak-
in the?
You sneak out in the parking lot. Remember high school, you went out in the parking lot? All right, we have one other, any questions about the social? Okay, we'll have more information come out at y'all, and we'll send out emails. We have one other volunteer opportunity. Rachel, where did you go? Oh, there you are. This is a new park that we took on this year. It's a community park, and Rachel is the POC. Thank you, Rachel, and she's going to tell you a little bit about it.
40.
Another class 40.
Hi, everybody. Can y'all hear me in the back?
Yes.
Absolutely, crystal
Yeah, we can
clear.
hear you now.
Okay. So I have taken on the Ron Peed Memorial Community Garden in Cibolo. It's a beautiful location. It has a parking lot already there, it's fenced, and it was neglected for a little bit, but we're bringing it right back. And guess what? When we looked, the roots were good. So we're good to go. So we got the gravel has been leveled. Now the before pictures, I do have a separate slideshow if you're interested in looking at it. It's but they've flattened, the city has been so helpful, wonderful working with the city. Shocking, I know, but it does happen. So they flattened this, and they moved all the boxes that were already in there, and we were able to repair them and make sure they were good, put them back. The city's gonna take care of this heap. It's actually going to be like a natural area where there's just trees and then story plants, plants that don't need to be planted every year, things that we would have like for our school tours. When we do start having those, it would be somewhere where the students would walk through. That's what the heap of dirt will turn into eventually. We have, we're just getting started. If you look at it, it looks kind of bare, but that also means there's a lot of opportunities. If you are in the Cibolo area and you want to have a product that you own,
Call you.
So not only do we have the raised beds, we're going to have the sensory garden is right here where these black pots are. It'll have a mud kitchen. We don't have anyone to set it up and kind of organize it, so if that's something that piques your interest, call me. And then, of course, the natural area, which will include trees and just understory plants in no beds, but just a pathway. If that interests you and you want to get in on planning, call me. And then right here in front, you can see outside the gate. Oh, that's not the gate. Right here. There we go. That's it. Right here, this is our pollinator beds. We are installing one. We have irrigation. And my friend Kathy Carroll, she's my pollinator lady, if y'all know her. But she has got this all set up, and good news, this week we are putting in plants. If you have a plant that you would love to see in a pollinator garden, or you want to share it, bring it on over. We'll take it. We have space for any and everything, I think. We have about 57 feet right there in front. And then moving forward, probably next fall, we will be doing another pollinator bed inside, which will also have additional opportunities for education for the students and every learner out there.
Hey, Rach, you gonna put any native plants out there?
Yes, sir. So we are all about Texas Superstars, yay, natives, adaptive. So if it grows here, we want it. And so we're not strictly in just like any kind of category. We do any plant that grows well here, unless it's invasive, we'll mark that, non-invasive. But adaptive, native, all of them, everything.
Fantastic.
I do have a list of plants that Kathy has requested specifically, as well as just raw gardens. If you have a plant and you want to share it, bring it. That's it.
Do you have an issue with deer?
What?
Deer?
Deer, oh. What's DE? Deer, yes. So this is actually a park, is right back here. It's a natural, yes. The park's name is Slaughter Park. And where it's situated, if anyone knows Cibolo, they put in a new HEB, and then there's a Walmart, and then there's a Brooks old folks home right behind the Walmart, and there's an Everyday Church. This is across from the Everyday Church on that side road.
Easy on that old folks home.
It's beautiful. I hope I can stay there. So there's lots of wildlife.
Do you have regular work days or what?
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, so so our work days currently, right now, we're still getting the hardscape set. So if you're wanting to do something more than gardening, come on out. We're still doing it. The hardscape should be done at the end of this week, and then starting Monday, we're going to be open from 8 to 10 on Monday and Wednesday. And then probably after about 2 months, we're gauging it with the city, but we're going to try and open it 8 to 10 Monday through Saturday. That's the goal. And then the spring comes, it's going to be 8 to 6. It will be open. That will not be the work days. Don't come trying to find me every day of the week there. It will stay Monday and Wednesday for the volunteer. We will have events where we'll have arborists and other professionals come out and teach classes.
Composting?
Yes. Yes. So keep your eyes peeled for emails for classes that will be.
In other words,
operating there.
read your emails.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it. So going forward, we have a compost classroom we're also putting in besides the sensory garden. The compost station will be over here. We have a tumbler already, but we're looking to put in a 3-bin compost. Pretty standard, but it's going to be our classroom, our compost classroom. We're looking for someone that wants to put it up.
Well, that's going to be Peter Hernandez. Everybody knows Peter Hernandez. He's the compost guy. He's going to do it.
We got to get the compost guy out, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We love Cibolo.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. It sounds really exciting.
And I will have my other pictures and my list of flower stuff and all the information you could ever want. I have it on the Ron P. Garden. And I have this diagram. If you have any questions, please just read.
Drew in class?
No. My dog helped me.
Thank you, Rachel.
All right, up next is our, again, a stepped in at the last minute, an emergency. Thank you very much, Karen Duck. You want to come up and do your...
Okie dokie. Public speaking is like my strength. At any rate, continuing education. So far we've got probably about 54% of our student body, thinking wrong class here, I teach. 50% is met their CE hours. Awesome, awesome. Of course, we still have some that don't have any, and we're almost at the end of the year. So there are plenty of opportunities out there. We still have a few in-person opportunities. There are opportunities on our website as well as Texas A&M. And I had a thought earlier, so if we've missed out on the lunch and learns, why not recreate it at home? Fix yourself a nice lunch, or rethink dinner and a movie. Fix yourself dinner, pull up something on the internet to watch, sit down and watch and earn your CE hours while having dinner. That glass of wine, you can't take a glass of wine to your lunch and learns, right? But at home you can. So please get those CE hours in, because learning is always fun. We can't stop learning. And that's all I have for today, so thank you.
That was a strong speech. Good, that's where it got its strength from.
I told somebody the other day, I said, we're turning into a spouses board. We've got April and Frank, and now we've got, what's his name again? Karen's husband.
Yeah, thank you.
David, membership report.
All right. So the numbers are looking better. We still have, I think, 17 folks that haven't put any hours, and some of them are here tonight. So if you need help, if you need access, you need password reset, please let me know. I'm happy to help. If you need me to put them in for you, I can do that. Happy to help. But we need your hours in. Let's see here. All right. First of all, does anybody have any questions on any of these charts I ever put up? If you do,
Well, they have such little numbers.
I'd make it bigger, but yeah, I can't.
So,
All right.
do we only have 156
We have
members?
157 certified members currently.
How many total members do we have?
So we have 157 certified members currently. We have 2 inactive, meaning they are not responding whatsoever, so they've moved to the inactive. We have 4 on leave of absence that hopefully will return to us. We have 16 interns, I believe, from 2024, 2025 that have not yet certified. So all in all, I believe the number is 187 if you add and we have, including our emeritus, there's 3 emeritus, and there's 1 retired. So.
We need to get that class filled up.
Yes, and those recruiting packets are upstairs in the Seed Library.
I've got it.
I'm here on Wednesdays, so, it has everything you need. When I'm at the feed store, or I'm at Tractor Supply or whatever, I check the bulletin board. If there's not one there, I go out to my car, I keep it in my glove box. I grab a flyer, I go and stick it up. It has thumbtacks, tape, everything you need to go put up our flyer. So everywhere I go, I check. If there's a bulletin board, hey, I go out and grab it, come back and put it in. And yeah, let's fill up the class as much as we can, because it's great. I got off track. Let's see.
I'm next.
So we got quite a few people that have hit the milestones already, but there's a lot more people. They're almost about to break 100. I think we possibly may hit over 50 people or more that's going to have over 100 hours this year.
I've been trying to beat April all year. Look at her numbers. I can't do it.
I've been trying to beat Frank.
Yeah.
Like, beat my head against the wall for that.
Thank you, David. Yeah.
Yay, David.
I had one other thing, but it's.
I rushed him. But we want to get started.
Do I need to get up and introduce you?
No.
No, y'all know me.
One quick more thing.
Yeah.
EVS. I know a lot of people have not done it yet. I haven't done it yet. Some people are coming up, starting in January or March, I think, is when people start doing it. We're looking at putting together an opportunity. I'm looking for days, times, suggestions. I'll come in here, Frank and I may come in here, or one of us, and bring some laptops, and we'll have a class. Basically, you can sit down, you can do your EVS, we can be here to answer your questions, help you out. I know some people don't have computers, so we'll have laptops. You can come in, go through the EVS education, do your background check, and it's done. You don't have to worry about it for 3 more years.
When it's my turn, I'm going to ask him for help. I know that.
The FBI first.
I'm next.
Thanks,
I'm
Dave.
next. Okay.
Let's
I'm
hear it
not
for
sure how
David.
you-
Let's
Okay.
hear it for David.
All right, now this piece of paper is my
I'm your only
Vice
fan.
President report. There's copies of it. I'm going to put it on the back table that you can take home. Basically, as the Vice President, I get to pick all those cool speakers. So I've got folks all the way up till next May. And we're going to have some great lectures. So I'm going to put that on the back. This is the Christmas invitation for the Christmas party we talked about earlier. That's what it looks like. They're in the back. Take one home if you need to, whatever, okay? You didn't have one. And then I'm also playing Karen Correll tonight because her daughter's in the hospital, and that's about the food for next month. We had a great turnout of food tonight.
It was good.
We know how to eat.
It was.
We know how to eat. Now, next month, we're gonna do Thanksgiving. So, are we gonna buy the turkey? I don't know.
Not for the social. It'll be snacky food, snacky turkey.
Snacky turkey stuff. I want y'all to sign up
Turkey.
for the November meeting, not the Christmas party, the November meeting. So I'm gonna start it around and let you guys put your names down, and we'll shock and surprise Karen. She goes, nobody ever signs up. Y'all sign up so that I can tell her that we did good without her.
Pam,
Yeah.
you don't want to smoke turkey for the Thanksgiving?
I think we're gonna, I don't know what the plans are.
Oh, David wants one. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, David wants to have
He's shaking his
one.
head, yeah.
We're gonna have traditional Thanksgiving food at the meeting.
I thought we didn't get enough. Okay. All right. Do we want to let Matt say something?
Yeah.
Matt, did you have something you wanted to put down?
Just real quick,
Let's know.
talked to Matt Miranda, the big guy from the 4-H, and anybody that's in the Cibolo area. I know. Yeah, I already got your name, but I haven't talked to you yet. 4-H is having a thing on October 28th, 29th, 30th. It's about 3 hours. They're running groups of kids through. It's not an Ask a Master Gardener thing, but he wants, like, I said, well, what am I supposed to do? He says, like, 10 minutes, okay? Give these kids a, like, basic, how to throw a seed in the soil and give them some water and that kind of stuff. And maybe give them something to do, like put, like, a sunflower seed in a cup of soil. Well, I was close. I can't close to save dirt, you know. But if you want to do it, be it with me. If you know anybody in the Cibolo area wants to do it, look, they're running through, they're taking half hour for lunch. They're running like 5 groups through between like 9:30 and lunch, and then 6 groups every 10 minutes, boom, boom, boom. I do not know how old the children are, doesn't matter. But I don't know, you know, it's gonna be fun, right? And if you're ready for a high octane thing, get with me, all right? Or if you know anybody else.
I don't think we're gonna take a break tonight because we're kind of running into the time.
Can you catch back after the meeting?
Catch Mac after the meeting if you want to talk to him. He'll hang around. I don't think we're going to take a break right now because we're running into our speaker's time. And so I want to tell you a little bit about our speaker, Don Tuff. Don, you want to start coming up? Dr. Don Tuff, and I'm going to read it because I didn't prepare well. He retired in 1990 in entomology from Texas A&M University in 1963. Wow. So he's an Aggie, okay? During his tenure at Texas State, in addition to teaching he mostly taught introductory botany and zoology, but he also did some other things on the side, like teaching teachers. He's been a member of the Comal County Master Gardener Association for about 20 years. Guys, 20 years he's been there. But he retired from active membership in 2021. He has presented the entomology section of the Comal Master Gardener trainees for a number of years. He also talks to garden clubs, master naturalists, NIPSOT chapters, and tonight he's speaking to us. So please welcome Dr. Don Tubb. Do it again.
All right, we'll see how this thing goes, and I'm sure you can hear me, provided I don't fall over. Anyway, garden insects. They're mostly good and a few bad. I've done this one a number of times, keep changing the title, and of course you notice I don't have the logo from AgriLife Extension. I erased it off of one. I never put it back. I tried to do that and I said, oh, I just won't do it this time. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got. The good guys, most of the insects in this world are all right. They have many, many beneficial aspects of in our existence, and there's only about 5% that are going to cause us real problems, particularly in the gardens. And we want to look at 4 groups of insects that we find. And the first one is going to be the recyclers. All right, something to recycle, that takes care of dead plant material, even animal material, and they chew it up, lay eggs on it, larvae feed on it, and it goes back to the soil and is used for nutrients for a number of organisms. The best beetles are a fairly common one. You find it in the stumps of dead, rotting trees, and you notice the one on the right-hand side, a bunch of larvae. Well, this is a female, and unusual for many beetles take care or look after some of the young. The insect is about an inch long, sometimes a little bit longer, but it's a good recycler. Other ones, the Hercules beetle. That's the spotted June beetle, pretty good size. The one on the left is the grub, the larval stage of these June beetles. You can recognize June beetle larval stages because they're C-shaped, they have a big fat body, and many times you'll find the back end of the abdomen will have a dark spot in it. That's most of the digested food particles from eating, and they don't get rid of that until they become a pupa. This is the thing you find in the compost pile. The great big grubs in the compost pile, they're doing the job of reducing all the plant material down to usable material. The little ones that are maybe a ½ inch long that you find in your grass, those are the dirty guys. Those you take care of because they're going to eat the roots of some of your plants. The next one, dung beetles. Well, I just read a paper from the Entomological Society that they're really concerned about many ranchers, farmers. They give all kinds of wormicides and growth inhibitors for insects that feed like ticks and fleas and mites and that as a systemic pesticides. In the dung of those animals, when you have dung beetles feeding on that, they roll it up, they lay an egg in it, and the larvae to feed. But in this dung now is going to be toxicants, and they'll kill the larvae. Many years ago, when we moved out into a pasture land in Hays County, we used to see dung rollers around, But then we had a couple dogs, and you feed the dogs anti-tick and flea medicine. And I said, you know, I wonder where all the dung beetles go, because I haven't seen one in over 40 years now. And I think what's happening is feeding these animals the pesticides, it poisons the food, and the dung beetles are good guys as larvae because they will take the feces from the domestic animals and recycle it. They break it down into usable nutrients in the soil. Something to think about. You don't want your cows gobbled up with ticks and flies and mites and so forth, but you need to get some thought of when you spray or apply and how you do it. Pollinators, those are fun. Now, here's 4 kinds of bees. The upper left is a carpenter bee, very common, good sized animal, almost 3/4 of an inch to an inch long. It will have yellow seedier hairs on the thorax, but not on the abdomen. Carpenter bees will have a black, shiny, really shiny abdomen. And they live in fence posts. So if you have old fence posts, old cedar posts around, other fence posts, and you find holes in it, leave them alone. Leave them there, because that's the homes for carpenter bees. Of course, I remember years ago in California, my dad built a little outside thing with a redwood bench on it, and wondered where all these bees are coming from, and there, underneath that they had holes that were eating the inside out of that. So they eat the wood, but they are good pollinators. And at the Lindheimer Gardens in New Braunfels, they really love the plants that we've grown, some of the salvias, and you see them all over there. Wonderful bee. The upper right is the classic honeybee, and it's a good pollinator, but not the best. They don't work as early in the morning as native bees do. The populations can be so dense because of hives. You have 35,000 bees in a hive, and they become competitors with native bees. That we've got an awful lot of native bees around, and they're good pollinators for many plants. The honeybees are somewhat restrictive, and you see that sac, that red or orange color on the hind leg. That's a pollen sac. That's where they stuff it. Now, the one in the lower left, that is a leafcutter bee. A native, they're solitary bees. They live in the ground, and they, if you've ever noticed some of your roses or crepe myrtles will have nice little circles cut out of the margins of the leaf. Well, those are done by carpenter bees. They take that, put them together, glue them together, make chambers in it, and they go underground, and they will have individual chambers for each individual egg. You get larvae coming out. Then the one on the lower right is a sweat bee, elected sweat bee, the green one, and there are several genera of sweat bees. Good pollinators, and they're all, those are ground dwellers too. Now beetles, a lot of beetles are pollinators. These, the upper left is one that you should leave alone if you find them in your garden, because they're, 1 second, old people have a troubled times remembering things. And it's, the Meloid is a blister beetle. Leave it alone because it has a vesiccating oil in the body, in the joints, and if you handle it, there's a good chance that the oil will cause blisters. In fact, there's one species that they used to grind up and use it as an aphrodisiac, people, but then they found out that it raises havoc with kidneys, and you can die. It's also pathogenic for horses. A friend of mine, one of the graduate students at Texas State, he phoned from Florida one day and said, "Hey, Don, what do you know about blister beetles?" I said, "Why?" He says, "Well, do they bother horses?" I said, "Oh, they can if you get a lot of them." Well, this group of horse raisers, they had a breeding farm, had a bunch of horses there, and they bought a lot of hay from Oklahoma. They didn't realize that in the hay were pockets of a striped blister beetle, and they lost $3 million worth of racehorses. So it takes a number of them to do it, but in the diagnostic lab at A&M, they've got a number of kinds of parasites, some worms, some grubs, some other things up there, even a jar of blister beetles to let people know what they are. And they don't necessarily kill one, but it takes a handful. But leave them alone. They can bother you. The one on the upper right is a June beetle. It's a good pollinator. Now remember, a lot of these things, they're going to eat some of the pollen. They're going to eat other things on there. But in the process, they're wandering around, moving from one flower to another, and they're pollinating. The lower left is a Pennsylvania. Okay, I'm trying to think of the thing. A soldier beetle, and it's an excellent pollinator. It's also a good predatory beetle. The one in the lower middle, those are tumbling flower beetles. You go up there and say, oh, look at the little beetles. And you point at the flower, you go to touch them, whoop, they're gone, they fall off. Well, they're tumbling flower beetles, more devils. The one on the lower right, is a wood-boring beetle called a flat-headed wood borer, and there are hundreds of species. Now, Mike Quinn has a site called texasento.net, I think. .net, I can't remember exactly what the extension is, but he's got pictures of all the beetles. He's got pictures of butterflies and moths. He's got pictures of all kinds of bugs. There's some groups of insects that aren't there, but he is a tremendous entomologist, a good taxonomist. So the one on the lower right, I remember driving back one time on from a field trip. We got into an area and all these little beetles flying. There were thousands of these things that were on the roadside flowers on the Gaillardia. Neat little beetle. Bobby's like flathead wood borer. By the way, they are wood borers. In that group, they're massive wood borers. Flies, a lot of, yes ma'am.
I've had a beetle that pops.
Oh, the one that flips upside down, yeah, that's a click beetle. A click beetle?
Yeah, click beetles.
If you turn them upside down, they'll bounce in the air because they've got an extension on their head that fits into a groove on the first thoracic segment. And they lock it in there and go, pop, and flip upside down.
And they click.
Yeah, they click.
I've got a lot of them in my house.
In your house? Well, that's unusual, but they're plant feeders. Some of them can be very destructive. In fact, the onion root wireworm is a click beetle. A little bit devastating for them. Flies are good pollinators, and here's several. The one in the upper left. That wonderful thing. Have you ever sat in the backyard with a glass of tea, and you're there, and all of a sudden you see this thing come up, go up to your knee or something like that? That's a flower fly, a hoverfly. Good pollinate. They don't bite, they don't do anything other than pollinate. They're really a neat group. This last year I bought a book on the darn things, just what I needed, like a hole in the head. But at least they've got pictures of a lot of the hoverflies or flower flies. Good pollinators. The larvae are fantastic because they gobble up aphids and whiteflies. So you don't want to kill these. The one on the upper right now is it's a blowfly. They're attracted to carrion. And carrion is rotting and smells bad and stinks. Something's dead. This fly goes up and flies over to it and says, oh, something for my babies to feed on. Not realizing it's a plant. And one of the plants they have from Africa over in Nacogdoches, they've got it in the Arboretum, and it's pollinated by one of the blowflies. They generally find dead bodies of deer and skunks and the armadillos that jump too soon to feed on.
Boy, was my wife surprised when mine finally opened up and she took a whiff. Yeah. Get that thing off my porch.
They're wonderful in gardens, don't they? They do the plowing for you. All right, the lower left is also a bee fly. I mean a hoverfly. And the one in the lower right looks a little fuzzy like a bee. Well, they're called bee flies, and they're good pollinators. Unfortunately, a number of species are parasites of native bees. In Washington, there's a problem, and they have the alkali bee, which is a prime pollinator over there. They'll have an acre of land, and it's nothing but litter with thousands of holes in the ground where the native bees, the alfalfa bee lives. Then these flies will go along and they'll fly by one of the bees' nest holes, and they'll bomb an egg at it. So when the bee goes back, it'll pick up that egg, or the egg will hatch into a larva, and as the bee enters the hole, the larva attaches to the leg of the bee, and then when the bee goes to its a home in the ground to deposit its own egg in that, or to add more pollen to it, this fly, a larva, will go ahead, and when it's sealed up, it will eat the bee's larva and the pollen and emerge as its own. In fact, the bees are not, I mean, the flies are not that smart. A fellow at Washington State, he was doing a dissertation on the alkali bees, and he'd stand there in the booths of Washington. He said he had these darn flies flying by his boots, and choom, they're bombing the grommets in the boot to lay an egg, thinking it's a bee hole. So I guess they don't know. Moths and butterflies. Well, they're good pollinators too. The swallowtail in the upper left, you know, they pollinate. Now they also drink the nectar. That's what they're up to the plant for. They do a little pollinating, good guys. But remember, they all produce eggs and larvae that eat the plants you're trying to grow. Just think if you want to grow some fennel. What happens? Where's all my plant? They eat it up. Tomato hornworm, same thing. One of the little gray butterflies, it is a nice, pretty plant. Pretty butterfly. It's very small, and the larvae are called cotton square borers. So the butterflies and moths, they produce larvae that eat plants. So what you do, you just, if you have a certain plant you like, but the caterpillars keep eating it away, just buy more plants. You'd want them anyway. And so we have various butterflies. The middle one is a skipper. The one in the upper right is a moth, is another skipper, and the one in the lower right is a sphinx moth, and they are nighttime pollinators, where you may find the hummingbird moth during the daytime. It's one of the few sphinx moths that will pollinate during the daylight hours, and it is a small one and a very neat moth. All right.
Pretty.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your tomato hornworm. Well, tobacco hornworm is the common one we have around here. The larvae on that get to be about 3 inches long, and you may have a plant one. Oh, I love that plant. Next morning you go out and you find half the leaves gone. Where'd they go? You start looking around. You find a hornworm, and you find another one. Now, I did that to a datura one time. One day it's a beautiful plant. The next morning half was gone. I said, where in the world's up? And I'm looking all over. Finally, I find one, and I end up with 11 sphinx moth larvae that were feeding on the plant. So they can denude the plant very quickly. All right, let's take a look at some of the parasites. Now, the term parasitoid refers to an organism that feeds on another organism of the same group. So parasitoids are going to feed on, at least the insect parasitoids will feed on another insect. That's what we're going to look at. But they're parasitic. And parasites will feed on an organism at its host's expense. They will eventually lead to the death of the host organism. That's how the parasites work. Think of tapeworms. That's what they do. Let's think of fleas. That's what they do. A lot of nematodes. That's what they do. Eventually injure the host and the host dies. The whole secret of parasites is to make a generation before that host dies, so they can reproduce itself. So parasitoids are in the same group. So now we're going to look at the insects that you find in gardens that will feed on other insects. The aphid wasp, well, it says the hosts are white flies, scales, and aphids. Well, that's something to eat them. You don't have to poison them. You can just wait for the aphid round. But notice on the left photograph, there's a small little bee-like thing. They are feeding on the eggs of aphids. The dark aphid in the right one is a mummified form. It's been parasitized, and a parasite, the little wasp larva, is going to eat the inside out of that aphid. Another group of wasps.
Yeah, cool.
The order Hymenoptera contains ants, bees, and wasps, and many of the Hymenoptera of a group of insects. It's a huge group of insects, and they are, as a group, very beneficial because they have many parasites and predatory species in that group. The Proconid wasp, certain group of wasps, notice here the two upper photographs represent oviposition on caterpillars. They are major parasites of caterpillars. Like the caterpillar in the lower diagram is what you call a looper or an inchworm, a geometrid moth larva, that they don't have any prolegs in the middle, so they can kind of snake along. They hold them in the back, stretch out the front, bring up the back, stretch like that. Almost like a leech. A leech has a posterior sucker and it has an oral sucker. So it grabs on the oral, stretches out its body, holds with the oral sucker, then brings the rear end up. So leeches move in that fashion. Well, notice the white projections on the larva. If you find a caterpillar that has those white structures on the body, don't kill it, leave it, because those are the pupal cases of a wasp that has already eaten out the insides of the caterpillar. So it's a way to keep the parasitoids, the wasp parasite, in your yard, so when you have more caterpillars, you have something that they will feed on. Trichogrammatids. Notice that. These are eggs of caterpillars. And notice the little wasp that is, the rear end is touching that egg. Well, they're depositing an egg, its own egg, inside the egg of the caterpillar. And their larva, the egg will hatch, the larva will feed on all the contents of the caterpillar in that eggshell. Cool. Another group of, these names you never need to remember. Just say, some damn wasp. And then they go. And they're all different kinds of them. Notice this one, typhoid wasp, that feeds on white grubs. Those are the insects that eat up your lawn, the white grubs.
How do they get to them, Don? How do those wasps find them? Because usually those grubs are underground.
Yeah, well, they can dig down and they can find them. There'll be scents that these insects can find. The grub will eventually, it can eat and move around underground, while the wasp will go ahead and find it because of the sense of the, and there'll be some vibrations too.
Yeah.
Now this one, this is a group. It's a really large group. There are thousands of species of ichneumon wasps. Feed on caterpillars and beetle larvae. The one on the upper left, that is a male. If you look at, ever see one of these that has a laterally compressed, we say flattened abdomen on it, that's characteristic of ichneumon wasps. And the females then will have an ovipositor that sticks out the back like the one on the upper right. And how do they find beetle larvae? Well, many of them are parasites of wood-boring beetles. Years ago, we were at a picnic one time, and we yelled dead tree stump there, a good size one, and it had been rotten. There's an ichneumon that was trying to get its ovipositor down into a hole where the beetle was to lay an egg on the either blue-crested or a round-headed borer inside the wood already. Because there'll be odors that all these different species will produce, pheromones. And so this one, the ovipositor, if this is the abdomen, ovipositor will come up and loop down like that, and it has an end where it can move its way, dig through the rotting wood in order to lay an egg. And it's the ovipositor, the egg-laying device, is in 3 parts. And it forms a channel. And the egg that the wasp produces is stretched out long and skinny to get down this long, skinny tube. And a lot of these parasites, they will produce what's termed as polyembryony. They will lay an egg, and that egg will divide, and you may end up with 50 or 60 individual parasitic larvae inside the animal. Hymenoptera, the wasp larvae. It's pretty neat.
That is.
Cool.
Glad they don't do people.
No, they don't do people. They don't even sting people. Most of the wasps, the bees, they don't sting you. They're interested in doing what they do. If you bother them, they're going to sting. Well, if someone keeps bothering you, you're going to smack them. So I mean, it's the same type of thing. All right, tachynid flies. Well, there's a neat group of flies. So they are parasites. The whole members of the entire group of tachynids are parasitic as larvae. And notice the one on the left is really bristly hairs on its abdomen. That's one way to recognize a tachynid. The other one on the right, I think they're neat because it looks like it has shafts because it's got these heavy-duty bristles, or called comb-like hairs, the ctenidia, on the hind legs. But they're parasites. And someone had a pecan tree, a tree, and they brought a polyphemus moth pupal case. That's about the size of a big pecan or a walnut. And one of them, it was, when it was open, it was just had a bit of the calfskin of the pupa of the polyphemus moth. So the moth emerged from the pupal case as an adult, ate the way out the front, and then flew off. She gave me another one that, on that one, you look inside of it, you don't find, inside the pupal case, you don't find any calfskin of the moth pupa, but you may find a bunch of individual cells, almost look like a wasp nest. Well, they weren't a wasp, they were fly pupae all stuck together. So there must have been 20 or so individual flies that ate out that caterpillar, and no moth came out, but a whole bunch of flies, tick-kinded flies, came out. They're really interesting flies. Predators. Let's look at some of the predators. Now everyone thinks earwigs are dirty, rotten, nasty things. Well, they are. These guys, the striped and spine-tailed earwigs, a small group of species that are predatory. So they are beneficial. They eat other insects, and they eat eggs of it. They're all predatory, which is good. Praying mantids. We know about praying mantids. Now, that's praying mantid behavior is something else, especially when they mate, because the female will bite the head off the male, and I guess that's just losing your head over it. We'll leave that one alone. But praying mantids are highly predatory. They've got stout jaws, and they're excellent feeding on a bunch of different insects. The egg case on the right is called an ootheca because it has many individual eggs in it. And as the eggs hatch, the first instar nymph of the mantid comes out, and they wait, but they move off pretty quickly because if you linger at the site, someone's going to eat you, or you may eat the next person out. Hey, when you're ready to start life, you need a hamburger. What? Here, there's my brother. I'm just going to gobble him up. That's all. The ambush bugs. These are sucking bugs. Now, we're used to stink bugs or things, but ambush bugs you don't see very often because they're few and far between. But they will mimic the colors of many of the plants that are their host plant because they know what comes to it. So they'll just sit and wait around, and when something lands on that flower, they'll grab it, stick the proboscis in, and that's about it. So there were some gruesome looking little bugs, but they have piercing, sucking mouth parts. Big-eyed bugs. Well, my goodness, that thing has got big eyes, all right. And notice it's feeding on another bug. It's the Cormelliana that it's feeding on, a black bug, and it's feeding on a green bug. I couldn't even tell what that thing is on there, but you see the little proboscis sticking out. Well, it's caught one and it's feeding on it. Minute pirate bugs are common in the garden, and nice color to it, but look, it's feeding on some scale insects on the upper left. On the right, it's feeding on a caterpillar, early instar larva of caterpillar.
That is pretty.
All right, kissing bugs. Now, I'm bringing this in here because a lot of people may be concerned. Wizzy Brown, the extension entomologist of Travis County, had a program over a week ago on Chagas disease and kissing bugs. And it's something you people need to really just watch out for. A lot of things look like this, but this is so distinct in its form and its color that you should be able to recognize it. I have a couple of specimens I did bring, but it's a crowd, it would be awkward to pass them out. If you want to see what one looks like, fine. This one, you can tell the kissing bug by the shape of the body and the stripe on the side of it. This orange stripe is fairly broad, and that's characteristic of a species called a Triatoma sanguisuga. And there's another one that's very common in Texas. It's called Triatoma gersteckeri. That's the one I brought. The little orange bands on the body are narrower than on this one. And the two I brought, one is the female. You can see the banding on the side of the body and shape of it. And the other one I pinned on the side so you can see the small little proboscis that sticks out. That's what they stick in the animal. Now, the reason this thing is critical is just the state health department's trying to get it on the permanent list of important insects that are endemic to Texas. There are about 20 states that have this type of insect. We have 3 principal bloodsuckers there. They feed on blood of mammals, this group. The whole group of kissing bugs, like the one in the upper right, is predatory. It feeds on other things, but it doesn't transmit a disease. The big one in the bottom, that is a disease transmitter called Chagas disease. And that one is very common in South America. There's about 280,000 people or more in the United States that have Chagas disease. There's overall, worldwide, there's anywhere up to 8 million people with it. When you, we call it a kissing bug because the person's sleeping in a hammock. This is very common in southern Mexico, Central and South America, particularly in Brazil. And they've got insects down there that when the bug feeds on the blood, it's a kissing bug because your head's sticking out under the blankets and you've got a thatched roof. And these insects are found in the thatched roof. They come out of there at night when you're sleeping, get on you, and stick a proboscis in you and suck blood. When you wake up, oh, smack it, rub your face like that. The insect does not transmit the parasite while it's feeding. It defecates, and the infective parasite is in the feces, and the person will rub it in not knowing it. Dogs, characteristically, can have Chagas disease. It's a problem in Texas. Dogs with Chagas disease. They can have respiratory problems, they feel lousy, they don't eat much, they look a little bit scruffy, and all of a sudden one day they'll up and die. Because these things are very common in dogs and cats and wood rats, neotoma, and armadillos, possum, skunks, and there's even some that are found in bats. Species will get there. And when a dog is bitten by one of these bugs, what does it do? They grab it, gobble it up. So the parasite from the squashed bug enters the delicate membranes in the mouth, gets into the circulatory system, then invades cells in the mouth, in the body, reproduce, make many little ones, rupture from the cell, and if you're a child, you may feel lousy for it. It's a little sickness. Many doctors couldn't recognize this if it was labeled. That's because it's not considered endemic, but it is now an endemic disease. It is in the United States, and that's all. So the advice is you never want to pick one of these up, because if you stomp it and I'll get rid of that sucker, and you grab that thing and you squashed it, and you happen to have a cut in your finger, you picked it up, and you get any gut contents on that open lesion, you've infected yourself with the parasite. In people, this has an acute phase. Some people are asymptomatic. This goes on for a little bit, and all of a sudden you have problems. You're tired, you feel lousy, you're listless, and lo and behold, you just don't feel so good. Well, the parasite eventually will end up attacking muscles of the esophagus, muscles of the intestinal tract, and in later cases, the chronic condition will attack heart muscles. So you may have sudden cardiac death from the parasite. In Brazil, they call it mal de engasgo, because what you do, you can't swallow anything because your esophagus has lost all of its muscle tone. It's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches in diameter. And so what they do, they drink a lot of water when they eat to flush the food into the stomach. You have trouble going potty because your large intestine is about 4 inches in diameter, all the way down. So it's not a good thing to have. Yeah.
Can you test for this?
Yeah. There are tests for it. It's a blood test. And in some cases, it can be an antibody test too. And there's no vaccines, nothing for it, but today, the chance of getting the vaccine is snowball chance. But anyway, it can be tested for. The best, I spent maybe too much time on this, but the whole point is, it's something that you need to recognize so you don't pick them up. And all these I've bound myself, but I figured maybe I didn't have any holes in my hands, so just take it and stick a pin in it.
Sir?
Yeah.
How do you spell that disease?
CHAGAS. And some of the first symptoms in kids anyway is swelling around the eye. That's called Romagnacine, and the lesion or the irritation you have around the feeding site is called a shigoma. Yeah.
From the first infection or the first contact, what is the time frame for the disease?
What is what?
What is the time frame for the disease? From the first contact?
Oh, it's within a week or so. You can tell if a person is just feeling, you have very much symptoms like flu. But the thing to do is to see if you've had any of these around. A number of these specimens that I've got from my daughter. She has another house on where we live, and she has cats in the house, but she finds me, Dad, is this one of those kissing bugs? I said, oh, yes, ma'am. He said, just leave them alone. And we find them outside because she's got possums living under the house. She's got a sweet baby raccoon under the house. And she just has all these animals around. And but you've got to just be cautious.
No treatment for this?
Yeah, there are drugs that are effective during the acute phase when you have the disease and the appearance of it. It's administered through the CDC or available there. And it is virtually useful. When you have the chronic condition and you have it, they say, hope you have a good life. Because the drugs you take, they treat the symptoms and not the condition, because there's nothing that really has found to work against it. In the chronic stage, that's the one where you've had it for years. And so behavior of populations is also strange, that in southern Mexico and some states and in South America, some groups will go ahead and a mother in the family will inoculate the kids with this thing. So grab a bug, squish it, rub it in a lesion on the skin or something, not realizing they're infecting their child. But anyway, they exist. So the kissing bugs, these are bloodsuckers. Now, here's a good guy. This is also one of the regivias, predatory. Look at, in the bottom picture, that curved proboscis. The wheel bug is a dandy. It feeds on a lot of garden pests. And you see one feeding on a June beetle on the upper right, feeding on another insect on the left. So it is a good insect to have around. Don't kill these. But they will bite. They don't transmit anything to you. But if you bother them, they'll say, hi, yeah, no. They'll give you a little. Now, in all the, you remember from any entomology you've had in your training, that there are sucking insects. Well, these are just more of them. Here we have the assassin bugs, other assassin bugs. This is a good guy. This is Zealous. And these things, if you find a few of them on your tree, great. Leave them there because they're going to feed on caterpillars and other things on the tree. These are not uncommon to be found on mountain laurel. They're feeding on the Genistomoth larvae. Spine soldier beetle. All right, this is in the group of stink bugs. You know those things, when you squish them, they smell bad? All right, but this may smell bad, but it's a good predatory spined soldier bug. It is a true bug. Notice the nymph in the upper right. It looks considerably different than the adult in the lower left, in the middle. But they're feeding on an insect. And notice it has spines in the shoulders. That's one of the characteristics of that one. The two-spotted stink bug, another stink bug. Notice the two spots on the pronotum, the front segment of the thorax, and that's the two-spotted stink bug, and it is feeding on a leaf beetle larva. Good predator. The predatory plant bug. Plant bugs as a general group are plant feeders. They'll go ahead and spot up your fruits on the plants. This one, though, is predatory and will feed on other insects. Mites and some scales, other bugs and aphids. And if you notice, the left one has the wings bent down over the back of the body. That is characteristic of all the plant bugs, whether they're good guys or bad guys. Plant bugs typically have that bent down portion of it. Damsel bugs, another sucking insect, and notice it likes feeding on caterpillars, and the bottom one is going ahead and feed on a plant bug. So it's another beneficial insect to have around. Thrips, most of the thrips are going to bother your plant. A lot of times in roses, you find a rose there, the blossom doesn't open up. You wonder why it's all clumped. Many times it's a thrip that does it, but not this one. This is of a small group of thrips that are predatory. They eat scale insects, they eat aphids, they eat other things. So they're well predatory. Lacewings, we all like lacewings. Those are neat. At night, they come to your lights on the porch. They flutter around. So nice and delicate. And they lay eggs on stalks. That's how you recognize a group of lacewing eggs. I've seen them on the underside of a shelf in the garage, a wooden shelf. I've seen them on plants. Sometimes they're on top. But they're on stalks. This is nature's way that when the egg hatches, the first instar larva comes down. I'm hungry. They wait for the next one, or they move on. So they will feed on one another. They're cannibalistic from that standpoint. And they're out then going to look for an aphid to feed on, or a whitefly to feed on, or something. And the larvae of lacewings have sickle-shaped mouth parts. They grab those things, they have a groove inside, and they suck the animal dry. All right, ground beetles. Well, we got a lot of beetles to look at. One thing is, in ground beetles, characteristically, well, the bodies are somewhat striped. The underside has some particular features for the entire group. You don't need to worry about that. But these are fast runners. If you see a beetle that looks something like this, oh, what's that? Boy, it's racing around. That's a predatory crabbit or ground beetle. And notice the mandibles stick out front. That's called being prognathous. That gnathos means jaw. Pro is in front. So their jaws are out front. And they grab it. And you notice the green one on the lower right, that is feeding on an oithworm. That's how far, I mean, sometimes good guys go too. The worm just didn't move out of the way. Ground beetles feed on caterpillars and berries. Well, berries, so it's going to eat a little bit of fruit. A berry diet. We like berry diet. We don't eat cows all the time. We maybe like to eat a lot of vegetables too. All right, this one is another highly predatory ground beetle. Good sized beetle. It's about 3/4 of an inch long. Then we have these two, the caterpillar hunter. The one on the left is called, that is a caterpillar hunter, very common around here. And sometimes if you happen to step on it, they may not smell so good, but that's beside the point. Maybe it's what they've eaten yesterday. You never can tell. But they're highly predatory, good things to have in your garden. leave them alone. Don't poison them. Yeah. All right, these feed on caterpillars and other dead insects. These are smaller ones. They're only maybe 3/8 to anywhere from 3/8 to a 1/2 inch long, sometimes 5/8, and they run fast. They're found under rocks and boards and other things, just waiting to come out and look for something to eat. These are fantastic beetles, the tiger beetles. They're fast flyers, fast runners, voracious feeders. They're highly predatory. In fact, all stages are predatory. We have 3 different species mentioned on the upper portion and the one on the left. The larva is also predatory. They live in holes in the ground. Many times you find them on some nice sandy stock tanks. You'll find a hole or next to a tree somewhere in a path maybe where ants have been walking. And you find a weird shape towards the end of the body of that larva. It's got spines on it because that's when it's in the hole, those spines can be forced to hold back the body hunched over, and the spines will hold it in that channel. And then the head lays somewhat flat, exposed on the surface. Something walks like, it'll grab it and feed on it. A good predator doesn't walk around, likes to eat at home. The other ones are dandy flyers. And they will bite you if you pick one up, bend its head and nip your finger. That's all right. It doesn't hurt too much. And rove beetles. These are small. And beetles have that wing cover. It's called elytra. They're generally fairly solid. But in this one, notice the wing covers are very short. Characteristic of rove beetles. There are several thousand species of rove beetles around. Years ago, I had one small one fly in my eye. I ended up with conjunctivitis because it caused all swelling of the conjunctiva of the eye because it secretes a toxin and you react to it. So, but they're good beetles. There's one, a large one, just about 1 inch long, that's very common, feeding on decomposing flesh. It's a marker for in postmortem studies in forensic medicine. Soldier beetles, that's what we showed earlier as a pollinator. Now it's a predator. Good predator too. Checkered beetles. These things, they can detect a host underneath the bark of trees. And they can tell if what's under there, whether anything else has been there or not, by pheromones. And it can lay eggs, and the larvae will go down and eat the bark insects, very common in forest environments. Now, ladybird beetles. Call these things ladybird beetles. Don't call them ladybugs. That is a bad thing to do. Because ladybugs, when you say bug, you figure something that either stinks and has a sticking, skin puncturing mouth part. That's a sucking insect. But these are beetles, lady beetles. The one on the left is a convergent ladybird beetle, highly predatory on aphids and scales, and that. It's a good one to have around. But watch what you buy. If you've got a greenhouse and you've got plants in there that unfortunately have aphids or scales and mealybugs, and you say, well, I need to get rid of them. I don't want to spray. You can get some of these. Release them in the greenhouse. They have nowhere to go. They're in the greenhouse. They can feed on those insects that are eating your plants. But you say, well, I'm going to buy these ladybirds because they're good beetles, and I'll just turn out the crop. So you get an order of them, you release them, ladybird, ladybird, fly away home. Oh, they do. They weren't raised there. They're going back where they were raised. And there's some places in the U.S. that you can either have artificial insectorium and raise them, or you can find in some mountain areas pockets of hundreds of these things overwintering, spending the cold days underneath the ground is there. And that's where they get them. So those things come from an area, they're brought someplace else. When they're released, they're going to go back where they came from. So anyway, the ones on the right That's the Harmonia erexidus, the Asian multicolored ladybird. That was brought into the United States years ago. It now in some cases are considered a problem because they outcompete and displace many of our native ladybird beetles. So this is a, shall we say, a foreign introduction that we've done ourselves. We do a good job of introducing nasty things into the country. And anyway, they're really good eaters of aphids and scales and mealybugs. They're really nice to have around, but they also need some place to spend the winter. So you may find them in your house. We constantly get them on our lampshades and on the ceiling something. I just leave them there. I mean, occasionally we have an anole running around the house too. A few spiders here. God save the spiders too. When you're a bug person, you're basically weird. That's it. Now, the one on the bottom is feeding on a cotton cushion scale, different genus and species of lady beetle. By the way, the one at the top left, the Asian multicolored, that's the same species in all three individuals. And some are even more salmon colored than that. So it's a highly variable species. But they have a nasty habit during the winter of overwintering in junction boxes, in light switches, and in closets. And they may be such a population that they don't smell particularly good at times. So in some Midwestern states, they become a nuisance, a pest. But I just let them be because in January, February, they'll, well, it's time to go outside again. Ladybird beetle larvae. All right, these are the larval stage of ladybird beetles. And the one on the right looks like scale insects, a mealybug. Now, keep in mind what this thing looks like.
Same size?
Yeah.
No!
Well, the mealybugs are small. These things are a little bit bigger than that. They're probably quarter inch long. But this is a good one. Look at the distribution of the projections from the body. All right, here's our hoverflies again. I want to show you the larvae. They're good pollinators, and the larvae are those funny looking ugly beasts on the bottom, and they're having a heyday feeding on the aphids. Field ants, oh, they're good too, as picking up insects. Mud daubers, these mud daubers are slender-waisted wasps. They are good predators, and different species will pick up different species of spiders and stuff them into the mud nest. And there are a number of different species will have different type of mud nests. Some of you, I don't know how many people have mud daubers here. I know where we are. My garage is full of the things. And they are nasty, building their mud nests in the back of a motor for a drill press or saw. I burned out a couple of motors. You turn it on sometime, all of a sudden start smoking. Ah, mamma mia! Turn it off and hope you didn't burn it out. Because what happens, the mud nests are built in the back end where the starting capacitor has a kick out thing when it reaches a certain speed. Well, all of a sudden it doesn't click off and it keeps going and heats up the wires and burns it out. So they can be really bothersome from that standpoint. And then we've got paper wasps. Oh, people don't like paper wasps, but you know, any of you that have heard Malcolm Beck talk, he loved the paper wasps, the red wasps, any of those things, and keep them around because what do they feed on? Caterpillars. Yeah. Right. That's what all those holes there, they lay an egg. They stuff a caterpillar in there so that the larva has something to feed on to make another wasp. good.
Put them at your front door.
Well, yeah, your front door. Unfortunately, our daughter, she can just walk by one and pew, they hit her. We just look out and say, oh, how about that? So they don't attack us. Red wasps are terrible. Years ago, they took down a water tower at Texas State outside the science building. And the father was up there, and his son was, he climbed the ladder. Oh, Dad, I can't go up there anymore. There's big old red wasp nest up there. Big red wasp nest up there. And the old man says, come on down. I'll show you what to do. The old man climbs up the ladder, grabs hold of that wasp, throws it down. There, it's gone. You know, I would be the guy who crawled down the ladder first of all. I wouldn't, because those things are nasty stingers. Potter wasp. Have you ever seen a potter wasp? You see the nest. Neat. They will stuff a caterpillar larva inside the top of it, and they generally put in 1 to 3 of them, and sometimes there's a hole in the bottom of the mud pot. And so the larvae keep going through, and they keep stuffing more larvae in there, and they seal it up, and the larvae eventually produce another wasp, like on the left. All right, quickly, we'll look at a few bad critters, and here's the mealybug. That's what the other one that I had was, a mealybug destroyer. It can fool the mealybugs around, walk up to it, and gobble it up. Scale insects, nasty little things. There's several kinds of scales. The mealybugs, one group, soft scales, another group. Then the hard scales, like the crepe myrtle bark scale, which is a new introduction. Those are hard scales. The females are permanently attached to the bark. They produce the young, sneak out from underneath, but they're very difficult to control. Those are the ones that at times a person will consider using systemic insecticide. That's the only way you're going to get them, because if you spray them, you can't. One way to do it is just scrape them off the bark. The crepe myrtle bark scale can make a crepe myrtle look really nasty in a short period of time. So these are scale insects. Aphids, another major group. There's 4 different kinds of aphids there, and they have an odd life cycle that the females come out from the winter, and they will start producing young. They produce it, what they call parthenogenetically. In other words, they don't need to be fertilized. They just keep cranking out eggs. Cha, 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 boom, boom, boom. Several generations during the spring and summer, they crank these out. Boy, do they make a population. Like that, what you have there. Best way to do it is take a water hose and squirt them off, get rid of them, because they don't crawl back very well. Later on in towards the winter, they go ahead and produce winged males. They mate, produce an overwintering egg, and the thing starts again. Leaf hoppers. Well, most probably you've heard about leaf hoppers. Is Pierce's disease that is transmitted to disease of grapes, and it's very devastating, and these many times use an alternate plant host. Milkweed bugs. Now at this point, look at the number of nymphs in the upper right hand. When you see a mass of insects on your plants that all look the same, all about the same size, get a pan, put soapy water in, knock them off. You can get rid of the nymphs easy because they can't fly. Right. But you know, have you ever tried to chase down a leaf-footed bug when you're in the, that's on your tomatoes? Oh, I'm going to get that guy. They fly away. They fly. But the larvae, the nymphs, are massive. Look at the milkweed bug in the bottom. A bunch of milkweed bugs. Those are pests. If you find just 1 or 2, they're probably good guys. But if you have a bunch that look the same, they're pests.
They're in a gang.
Yeah. Tarnished plant bugs, the same type of thing. These are leaf-footed bugs. See, this looks a little bit like that sucking bug, the Chagas beetle, Chagas bug. But the leaf foot, look at the hind leg. It's expanded, laterally produced. That means that it is a leaf-footed bug. Sucking insects, stink bugs, the green one, the marmorated. Marmorated is introduced. It can feed on 150, 200 different species of plants. And there's the mass of nymphs in the bottom. The harlequin bug, you've probably seen these around. They feed on many different host plants. Leaf beetles. The one in the middle on the bottom is the western corn rootworm. Or spotted cucumber beetles. We think they're just going to be on the cucumbers and that. Sometimes in January, if it's a warm day, early February, you see them, oh, look at the cucumber beetles. Where do they come from? Under the mulch you left on the ground. You know, that's why they say get rid of some of your ground stuff, because a lot of insects will overwinter under it. So the cucumber beetle, the larvae feed on corn roots, and it's really destructive. Flea beetles, little holes in your plants. Man, that looks like someone took some rat shot and shot your leaves. Well, that's because of the feeding of the flea beetles. And these are the caterpillars. Just show you the adult moth and the larva, the black cutworm under the ground. You put some little seedlings in the ground. The next morning you go and say, where's the seedling? Somebody ate it off the ground.
Yep.
Cutworm comes out at night, gobbles stuff. And the genista moth, that's the thing you find on the terminal flowers of a mountain laurel. Very, very common. Generally how I get rid of it, if you don't apply BT early, hope it doesn't rain. Apply that before you have the eggs hatching. Then when the eggs hatch, the larvae will feed on it. They'll die. If you wait until you see a caterpillar near full grown, you're wasting your time. They've already done the damage. Genista moth, I generally take, and if I see a bunch of them, I just take them off, scrunch them up, and that's it. Squash vine borer. Those are nasty. They make holes in the base of the squash vine, eat out the center of it.
Pumpkins.
And lo and behold, you've got a dead plant. And then the cabbage looper, call it the looper because you see the prolegs, and that's the lower right. The two sets of prolegs in the back end, and it's got a loop in order to walk. The egg mast of the florist tent caterpillar, that looks somewhat like what you find in a praying mantis. But praying mantis is just like a tent sitting there, a single structure, where this wraps around entirely around the stem. And then the fall webworm. And these are 4 books. If I take the one that has really got some more fair information in it is the Garden Insects, the 2nd edition. From the 1st edition to the 2nd edition, they added another 1,300 photographs. But it's the Garden Insects of North America, and there's a picture of darn near anything you may have, even a lot of the good insects that you want. Texas Bug Book by Malcolm Beck and Garrett. That one is really, it has good information, and it's environmentally friendly. The Field Guide of Northern Insects, the lower left, by Kaufman. His field guide series were great. Good photographs, I use that extensively. And then a former professor at University of Texas, John Abbott, who has published a couple major works on dragonflies and damselflies of Texas. He and his wife have put out the Common Insects of Texas on the right. Then, I think 2 years ago, he and his wife published the Insects of North America. Not too much information, but a description, brief descriptions and photographs of many of the North American insects. So you can identify a lot of what you have, and boy, I bet you're ready to go home.